required. And there's many ways you can do it. They suggested that it may be beneficial, so some of these issues don't come up during the budget commission or otherwise, if that was something, and they just wanted you to consider that as, I guess, the best way to put it. I wanted you to at least be aware of that. Those were the main issues that were brought up during the meeting, and they did agree to table and allow us to look at these particular issues and come back. I think we've adequately addressed them. We found out this discrepancy, and even though the amount, every dollar we understand is really, really important, but as a practical matter, we're dealing with an over $6 million budget, and these numbers came from the audit office from submissions for other ones. That being said, we will be able to answer that issue. I think we're going to just work forward on the reserve fund, and we've put together a rescission of it so we can move those funds to the general fund, which would address that problem. And hopefully with that, we can move forward and do the great things that the park does.
To further add weight to what John just said in terms of the resolution is accompanied by an appendix, which is our capital plan. Our staff has worked very hard on the capital plan 2023, 2028 in terms of reasonableness of land acquisition. As we've said in the past, there are negotiations associated with land acquisition, price points of land acquisition, and appraisals. So we wouldn't comment on a specific piece of property as part of that need in that capital plan. However, to give an example, because it did come out of executive session in a recent board meeting, we still hope to purchase the Brubaker property. Brubaker property is 32 acres of headwater stream property adjacent to our Rotary Park. It is paramount in its importance because it is the headwaters to one of the last three remaining brook trout streams in the state of Ohio. We were proud to steward those brook trout streams to land associated with those brook trout streams. So we are hopeful in that regard. So I believe that speaks to the point of reasonableness, and just want to recognize the hard work of staff and what we do to truly put product in the ground. If we're identifying capital improvement projects, for example, we have one that needs addressed, and that is repairing the bridge at the Westwoods that gives access to our Westwoods Nature Center. We plan on utilizing our staff, utilizing resources, utilizing grants, and taxpayer funds to execute those projects. We've demonstrated that in past capital plans, past budget line items, so that is in our intent, as has been the case with some of the parks that the residents enjoy, like Clarida Woodlands, Hobart Hollows, so on and so forth. So just want to recognize our intentions are good. We look forward to meeting with the Budget Commission again and identifying a path forward. So with that, I will jump into anything else, Mr. Slater? Anything else from the board? I will entertain a motion.
Actually, I'd like to make a statement. For those of you who may not know, I have worked within various Ohio public finance capacities since graduating with my Master of Public Administration from Cleveland State University in 1996. I even taught a graduate level public finance and budgeting course at CSU. For the past quarter century, I have never experienced what I experienced at the August 16th tax budget hearing for the Geauga Park District. I even worked for the State of Ohio Auditor's Office for 5 years with various governments throughout the state. None had issues with their county tax budget commission. At the August 16th meeting, I was accused of committing a criminal act, and this was on record. And the journalist covering that meeting painted a very biased picture that the Geauga Park District was lying and trading blows. What happened was a premeditated ambush by the Geauga County Tax Budget Commission, apparently operating outside its statutory responsibilities as outlined in the Ohio Revised Code. What is occurring is astonishingly petty and incredibly political. The so-called criminal act was the creation of a capital fund, Resolution 2-2022, under Ohio Revised Code 5705-13C, which the Park District has enacted in the past with the approval of the Geauga County Auditor as well as the Tax Budget Commission. It is also permitted by the State Auditor's Office as detailed in their legal matrix within the Ohio's Compliance Supplement and is used by other park districts like Metro Parks Toledo and Great Parks of Hamilton County. The tax budget that was originally submitted on July 19th followed statute and more than demonstrated the need for the Geauga County Auditor to continue to collect the 2.6 mils of property tax that the voters have enacted to support their parks.
Right.
So again, let me clarify how we got to that point. So we had 1.9 million taken from us. Okay? We were trying to get the Budget Commission to understand that we needed funds readily available to acquire property. We couldn't just run along and then buy property from time to time. Some property costs next to nothing, and some projects could be huge. Okay, they could be in the millions of dollars. So all we were attempting to do was to try to take our budget and make it clear so that they could see land development from day-to-day park activities. Land development is a separate activity. Doesn't happen every day. Might happen this year, may not happen next year. And then we could come along a project, like we were asked to come along with Geauga Lake. Now, we thought that was too big of a project for us. But they want us to do all kinds of development down at Geauga Lake. That would be in the millions of dollars that we would have to spend to make anything happen down there. You know, it's just not feasible. So we look at projects, we take some, and we turn some down. But our only attempt was to make our budget process clearer, not more opaque, clear.
And I think that the Budget Commission brought up the point that might not be legally able to do what we did. And even though Toledo and some of these other parks in the past have done it, doesn't make it legal. I mean, we have to wait for a legal opinion.
Correct, there's no final decision that's been made over the legality of that. They had disclosed to us during that meeting that apparently they are of the opinion that there's a question over whether you have the authority. And there is conflicting information. The state auditor says you can do it under their matrix, as Ms. Pay indicated. Other parks do it. You've done it in the past, through the Budget Commission, through the auditor's office. So, but there is the point is there's a legitimate issue because of language in the statute. There isn't a decision that's been made, and so rather than relying on that, because if they are correct, then there could be a problem, and you're not going to want to spend money out of it. The best thing to do, because you don't have to do it that way now. And in the future, if we find out, we'll probably get an attorney general opinion or otherwise that you can do it, then you have that ability. And it may, because the park districts need to do this practically, it may simply be a need to fix the statute with the legislature could do, because it wouldn't just benefit you, but all the other parks that are already using it. So again, we're not going to have an answer before the 31st, and the best way to do it is this resolution here, which we think addresses the concerns that the Budget Commission had.
Make a motion for.
Second.
For the sake of time, I'm not going to read the entire resolution. It's available as part of the public record. It's going to be shared with the Geauga County Budget Commission. So it's a pretty lengthy document. So we have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second. Yes.
Thank you. Any further question or discussion? Call the vote. Mr. Guarino?
Yes.
Mr. Nasenzi?
Yes.
Ms. Cartabucci?
Yes.
Mr. Bates?
Yes.
And Mr. Preston.
Yes.
Next item, which is really part of all the ongoing discussion. Any further comments on Budget Commission meeting preparation? Does not require a vote. Any further comments from the commissioners? Okay.
No.
Mr. Slater, anything else? Okay, if not, we will move on to adjourn. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
And Mr. Bates?
Yes.
And Mr. Preston? Yes. Mr. Carvagucci? Mr. Marino? And Mr.
Yes.
Innocenzi?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time.